In game number 3 of the NBA Finals on Tuesday, I gave you a free winner on the over. Tonight, I've got my thoughts coming up in just a moment on the Game 4 side selection for the Heat and Spurs in San Antonio, plus a free pick on the Pirates and Giants as well, plus a boatload of promotions and special things going today, including another $5 play of the day release on the total from Matt Rivers, who just made you money with a $5 play on Game 3 going over. Which way does it go tonight? Plus, Brian Rusika is going to be the half-price play of the day release, 109 max winner number 3 in a row, and charity play of the week winner number 15 out of 18 going today. Shawn Michaels' biggest baseball play of his career. All the details coming up in just a moment. Have not been here on the video the past couple of days, however. I was recovering after having to travel to Newark, New Jersey, which is definitely, among the top 1,800 places in my life that I never want to visit again. Boom! Already pissed off everybody in Newark. What was I doing in Newark, New Jersey? That's a damn good question. I'm still wondering. I blame it all on my wife. Always been a huge music fan. Always. Very eclectic range of tastes. Anything from jazz to rap to hard rock to alt rock to pop music. I mean, I can listen to any country, anything but classical music I can deal with, okay? Anything. Naturally, my son, has the same musical taste, has a very successful band that's open for a number of headliners. And as a little kid, he got hooked on the Beatles by watching the Beatles' #1 singles commercial when they were selling those like 10 or 12 years ago. Got him into the Beatles music. He just fell in love with it. Now, I was too late to the dance to the Beatles, okay? I was too little. But I got hooked on Paul McCartney with Wings in the 70s, okay? Although, if I ever hear silly love songs again, they should just retire that song from the radio. I'm sorry. So anyway, first concert I ever took my son to, 2005, Paul McCartney. Great concert. What a way to let your son experience something like that for the first concert he's ever gone to see a legend, history, and making a performance. Then 2010, McCartney toured again, took him again. Great concert again, okay? At the time, I told him, I said, hey, look, if McCartney ever tours again, which I thought would be unlikely, I'll definitely find you tickets. And true to my word, about a month ago, I see McCartney's starting a concert tour in Brazil. And I'm going, I didn't even know he was on tour this year. So I get tickets. Of course, he's not playing anywhere nearby. So I tell my wife, I said, if we're going to travel, we ought to pick a nice place to travel. Let's go to Texas to see him. Let's go to Florida to see him. What happens? Logistically, it works out that the only show that we can go catch him at is in New York at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, which means you got to go to Newark, New Jersey, take New Jersey Transit, take the New York subway, and there you come up to the Barclays Center. Now, I got to tell you, the show was great. For a guy who's 70-something, played for 2 hours and 45 minutes, 38 songs nonstop. Tremendous voice. Great voice again. I thought the 2010 concert, he was better singing-wise than 2005. I thought this one was even better. Just, played more Wings songs, and I think he played 6 or 7 Wings songs. Played a couple of Beatles rarities that you don't normally hear. Matter of fact, he said a couple of them he had never played before. You can look up the set list online. Setlist.fm, I think, is the place. It's a great place to get set lists for different concerts if you're into those type of things. But I'll tell you what about Barclays Center. A couple of things about Barclays Center. This is interesting because, at least to me, I've heard, so many announcers say, oh, what a great place to watch a game. And I'm thinking, if you're in the lower bowl like I was, it is a great place. The sight lines are tremendous, and you are right there on top of the court. But forget about it, man. If you're in the upper level, you're not only going out, you're going up so far, but you're going out. When you're going out and up, it's like you might as well be on Everest looking down. Because those ants down there, those are the basketball players. I thought the upper bowl sucked if I was going to go there and see a game. I've been to a zillion arenas that I thought were much better than that. Lower bowl, outstanding. One thing, though, back to the concert, though, if you happen to go see a concert at the Barclays Center, I will say this. Out of all the places that I have seen, and I've been visiting to over the years, all the concerts I've seen, I thought acoustically it was the best. I mean, the bass was tremendous. It was like having a subwoofer, that driving, thudding bass right underneath your seat. But at the same time, it didn't rob from the clarity of McCartney's vocals, which you know what I mean when you go so many times to the concerts, the sound is money. I'm an audiophile, and over the years, unfortunately, I've also lost some of my hearing on the high end. But for me to tell you that it was like he was singing right at you. The voice, the clarity, the mid-range, it was tremendous because the bass didn't rob from it. So, in terms of that, I thought the Barclays Center was great. In terms of food choices, I thought the Barclays Center sucked. I mean, come on. I've never been to a place that I thought had such a poor array of casual takeaway food. Listen, I don't mind, when you're paying $18 for a hot dog, at least if it's a good hot dog, or they had other options than just those hot dogs. But I thought their food selection was lousy, unless, of course, you wanted to go to one of the clubs there, like the 4040 Club, and pay $1,300 for an overpriced cheeseburger. Two things about the concert, though. And this is just my pet peeves of the day. I gotta get this off my chest before we progress to the gambling stuff. Pet peeve number one about concerts. You pay a fortune for tickets, for seats that you never end up sitting in. Why? Because it's like going to church on Sunday morning. One person coughs and then everybody else starts coughing in the arena. Same thing when you go to a concert. That one guy has to stand up and everybody else has to follow. It's why I never buy floor seats, because then you're destined to stand up the whole show. I'm sorry, I'm not into standing up at shows like I was when I was younger anymore for 3 hours in a row. So this one, I had tremendous seats. Right at the end of the row, 5 rows away from the floor, 5 rows up from the floor. Great seats, except for that pudgy 67-year-old Jerry Springer lookalike couple rows ahead of me who decided to stand up from the opening song and never sat down. Of course, he's playing air guitar. 60-some years old, and he's playing air guitar all throughout the thing. I thought Paperback Writer, when McCartney played that, this guy was going to have a stroke the way he was getting into it. Then, of course, he's playing the Phantom drum kit. Seriously? I mean, aren't you a little too old for that? I mean, it's bad enough seeing a 20-something-year-old out there playing air guitar. When you're 68 years old, you shouldn't be playing air guitar in a concert. Of course, he sat the whole time. His friend had to stand up, or stood the whole time. His friend had to stand up, too. I just don't get it. But that was nothing compared to the guy in front of me who kept coming in and out with his beer. I counted. He had 11 beers during the concert. I mean, this guy was hammered. But seriously, what is wrong with people when you go to concerts or sporting events? When you go and buy that $10 cup of warm beer, take a sip of it before you try to get into seat number 8 in an 18-seat row, climbing over everybody that usually it looks like those people probably were destined to go to the Jenny Craig convention, but instead they ended up at that sporting event or concert. There's some big people, and you're trying to carry 1 or 2 beers that are filled to the brim. Take an effing sip out of the beer before you spill it and slosh it on everybody else. Okay, I've gotten it out of my chest. Let's talk about your promos today. Listen, Brian Rusicka, I added him to the site on February 5th. Since that time, $10 bettors have won $8,640. Of course, he won 17 of his first 18 plays here at the site, I think it was. And he had a phenomenal first 7 weeks here at the site. Like everybody else and anybody in this business, he ultimately hit the skids and hit a losing streak, but he has come back strong. He's already 2-0 with his 100-dime max wager releases in the NBA Finals, including your Game 3 winner on San Antonio, which was the half-price play of the day on Tuesday. I saw he had another 100-dime play today for game number 4, the side. And once again, it's the half-price play of the day simply by using coupon code BR4450. BR4450. I made it my personal mission to browbeat you guys into playing totals this postseason, and I would say I've won you a bloody fortune because the handicappers with their total plays have just done great throughout these NBA Finals. Matter of fact, it was just game number 3. I turned to Matt Rivers for the second biggest, highest rated play of his career in the NBA. He delivered with game 3 going over the total. You got the winner for $5. I'm coming right back with Matt Rivers today for the $5 play of the day, his game 4 over under. And again, it's a 400,000 star play. In fact, 400,000 star winner number 16 out of 22 overall. And again, it's a $5 play. His total, all you've got to do is use coupon MATT5, M-A-T-T, and the number 5. You want to pick your own handicapper and make your own savings package? Save $32.32 off the single purchase here at the site. $32.32 simply by using coupon code 3232OFF. 3232OFF. That'll save you $32.32. And then finally, the final promotion today is going to be the charity play of the week winner, number 15 out of 18. And it's Shawn Michaels' biggest baseball play ever. Third ever 100-dime release in baseball. And he's been at the site, I think, for 8 years, Shawn has, okay? Third ever 100-dimer in baseball. To put it in perspective for you, This is every bit as strong as the 100 dime NFL releases that Shawn Michaels has gone 29, 12, and 1 with over the past 4 years. It's a $75 play. You're going to get it for free by using coupon code Sean75. Now remember, that's SEAN and the number 75, put it all together. You'll get it for free. You know the Charity Play of the Week program, something I started in March of 2012. In that time period, I've given out over $2.1 million worth of action, but we have created a community of caregivers helping those in tragic times, people that need some type of financial assistance. We have helped them one after another, and along the way, I've made you a fortune. To wit. Look at this current run, right? Looking for Charity Play of the Week winner number 15 out of 18. If the play wins, I ask you to make a donation tomorrow. If the play loses, it's gambling, guys. There's no guarantees. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And we move on and try to win the following week. Charity Play of the Week, that's up and ready today. You know, the NBA Finals has been great for a number of the handicappers here. Trace Adams is a perfect 6-0, 3-0 with his side plays, and they've all been raised the bar 1,500 star releases. Normal play is a 1,000 star play. This is bigger. He's 3-0 with his pay after your win totals as well. Jeff Benton, 40 dime, double up, finals winner number 4 in a row going tonight. But this time it's not the side. He is turning to the total. Brad Wilton, who is undefeated so far, 3-0 sweep with his NBA final plays. He has, I'm just looking here, what does he have? 50 dime play on the side selection here tonight. Had a 50 dime play on the total, of course, in game number 3, a 50 dime play on the total in game number 1, and a 100 dime winner on the Heat in game number 2. So those are among the hot handicappers here at the site that you might want to consider as well. So let's talk about game number 4 here tonight. You know, I gave you the total winner in game number 3. I actually think the total was the best bet here tonight. But you've seen Miami go from a 1 to 1.5 point underdog yesterday to being a 1 to 1.5 point favorite today. And there's a couple of things that go into that valuation of that line. First of all, everybody realizing that Miami's in a must-win situation tonight. No ifs, ands, or buts. And it's especially a must-win situation when, again, you consider the finals format is 2-3-2. Okay? Heat can't afford to lose tonight and go down 3-1. Now, just because you can't afford to lose doesn't mean you necessarily won't lose. The other factor that's mitigated in terms of this line evaluation is the fact that Tony Parker is at less than 100%. Now, Parker, after originally being listed as a game-time decision, did say this afternoon that he is going to play tonight. Listen, he's got a grade 1 hamstring injury. Normally, that takes about 5 to 7 days to heal. But he's going to play tonight. How effective will he be? Between the public money running in on Miami, you've now seen the Heat move from 1 to 1.5 to most places here today. And of course, we've got the LeBron factor. LeBron, who has been so piss poor here in the finals, no other way to put it, says that he guarantees he's going to have a better game tonight. Well, Jesus, if he scores 19 points, he'll have a better game than any game that he's had in the finals so far. I mean, that's the bottom line. You know, it's amazing what the Spurs have done here. And I alluded to this at the outset of the series, that I thought that the Spurs' defensive philosophy was going to be in this game to worry about LeBron and then see if everybody else can do some scoring. Well, they've done a great job on isolating LeBron. Kawhi Leonard, as I pointed out to you prior to this series start, an aggressive defender, a better defender than Paul George is for Indiana, and George gave LeBron some trouble in that last round. Leonard is not the offensive threat that Paul George is, but he's a much better defensive player. Big wingspan in terms of his defense. And, you're looking at LeBron James, who set career highs for his field goal shooting percentage during the regular season, hitting over 56% of his shots. Hell, he had almost 41% of his threes during the regular season. This guy so far in the series, though, 21 for 54. And what has happened? Well, we know Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, the scoring problems they've had, okay? Now, Wade actually had a good game for what you're now seeing of Dwayne Wade, the diminished Dwayne Wade, whether it's injury or whatever. He had 16.7 for 7 for 15 shooting in game number 3. And Chris Bosh, who's been missing in action for weeks and weeks and weeks now, he had a second straight 12.10 rebound performance. The difference between game number 2, Miami's blowout win at home, and game number 3, Miami's blowout win or loss at San Antonio on Tuesday night, was the bench. And I've told you many times that the law of averages will generally dictate which way you should go in the game, and often it pays dividends. In game number 2, when Miami rolled at home, you had Mario Chalmers, Ray Allen, and Mike Miller combined for 41 points. In game number 3, Chalmers was scoreless, and the trio combined for 19 points. Well, when your main man, LeBron, can't hit the broadside of the barn and your bench can't give you any production, you got a problem. So that leads you to the pick here tonight. Now, everything that I've sold you so far would probably make you think that I'm going with San Antonio. But I'll tell you what, guys. I think Miami is the play here this evening because I'm looking for increased production from LeBron. I think LeBron's going to have to go inside. He's going to be able to draw some fouls. That is going to give the Heat an inside presence that they've lacked throughout the game. And if LeBron is successful going inside, that means it's going to open up outside scoring opportunities for everybody else, mainly Ray Allen, Mario Chalmers, etc., maybe even D. Wade. Okay? The other thing is, listen, the Spurs rolled in game number 3 the other night, but the law of averages also dictates that Danny Green and Craig Neal, who hit 18 of 32 shots combined, are not going to combine for 51 points again, okay? Maybe 27, okay? That's just the way it's going to go. The law of averages also dictates that a San Antonio Spurs team that was 7 for 23 from beyond the three-point arc in game number 2 is not going to go and hit 16 of 32 three-pointers as they did in game number 3. I know that the Heat are 3-23 lifetime playing in San Antonio. I know also that Tony Parker is not 100%. And isn't it interesting that after game number 2, when the Spurs were blown out, everybody talked about Parker and Duncan and Ginobili, the bad game that they had, okay? Well, think about it. Look at the box score. Box scores don't lie. The big 3 in game number 2 combined for 27 points. In game number 3, they had 2 points less. I think the Heat's going to pull out the victory here tonight and even up this series. I think that James, who, I'm not a big fan of LeBron James. I think James goes crazy here tonight, and I think Miami gets the job done. Would I bet my money on it? Absolutely not. I still think the total is the better way to go in the game, but I wanted to give you the free pick. The other free pick, I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Pirates as a slight home dog against the San Francisco Giants. Listen, the Giants are going with Matt Cain. He enters this game with a 5.09 earned run average. Now, he had a very good road outing against the Arizona Diamondbacks in Phoenix last Friday, giving up 1 run and 4 hits in 7+ innings. But in his prior 4 road starts, his ERA was 8.88. 7 road starts this season, his ERA outside of San Francisco's AT&T Park, 5.48. Charlie Morton, going for the Pirates. He had Tommy John surgery. What's today? June 13th? He had Tommy John surgery a year ago tomorrow. Started his rehab and struggled. Had to shut it down briefly because of some shoulder soreness. But in his final 3 starts of his rehab assignment, he pitched very good ball. I'm willing to take a shot and go with the Pirates in this particular one. Listen, the Pirates have won the first 2 games of this series by margins of 12-8 and 8-2. The Giants are 2-3 on their current road trip. They have lost 12 of their last 16 on the road. The Giants have lost. Pirates, meanwhile, have won 13 of their last 16 at home. They're 23-11 at home overall this season. Giants' offense has crippled somewhat with Pablo Sandoval already on the disabled list. Now, Marco Scudero out indefinitely with a finger injury. So, you've got 2 key offensive starters out of the lineup for the Giants. I'm willing to take the Pirates as the home dog in this one. That'll do it for today's video, guys. Best of luck to you all, and I will catch you again come Friday.